Everybody, it is time for a shopping Tuesday. This is what I got. I didn't get a lot this week because I'm going to be relying on my freezer and the stuff that I already have. So this is the stuff that I will be having this week. And, you know, if I've got more, then I'll just leave it in the pantry. Starting with nut pods here, I will use this. This is really low carb, zero carb for 1 tablespoon, 10 calories. And I like the French vanilla one. And I will put that in tea. I'll put it in decaf coffee, and just about anywhere that I would use, maybe like a half and half. I did get a few more of these lactose-free Chobani Zero Sugar Greek yogurts, and I really do like this toasted vanilla flavor, and I will use some Keto Crunch granola on top of that in the morning for breakfast, and maybe serve it with some vegetables and egg whites, and then I'm good to go. This is the decaf coffee that I'm using right now. It's a Winco brand, and it's the house decaf, but I like it. My honey uses this straight shooter, and he really loves that kind that they have there. These are mostly for my honey, but I might have some of these little sweet peppers. Maybe I'll cut them up and cook them in with an omelet or something. I've got a couple of bunches of asparagus, some purple onions that I use sparingly. I did get one of these little logs of pork chorizo, and I looked at the pork chorizo and the beef chorizo, and the beef chorizo had like 100 calories more per serving, and it had like 28 grams of fat, as this one has 15 grams of fat. Really, I don't buy pork chorizo very often because it's always had a high amount of fat. But what we would normally do is cut off a little tiny bit of it, like maybe a tablespoon, and just cook it and then add scrambled eggs with it. And you really get a really wonderful flavor with those scrambled eggs, and it's just a little treat once in a while. I haven't had it in probably a couple years. Ground beef, I've got, it's 100% grass-fed, it's 80% lean, 20% fat, and I'm just most comfortable with that ratio. I did get some Canadian bacon. Now, this is all from Winco. If I went to Sam's, all of this would be like tripled in size, of course, but I didn't want to go all the way out there today. Pickles are always a treat if they're good pickles on a low-carb diet, and Grillo's pickles are great if you can find them. I do love these spears. You can tell, look how fresh they look, and they're super duper crunchy, and they have a really great taste. I know Sam's carries them, and probably Costco as well. Coleslaw, I did get 3 bags because I did put up a coleslaw recipe that I use. I find that coleslaw is an excellent filler on low carb, and it's a good way to get in some great fiber into your diet, and it's very tasty as well if you make it the way that I made the coleslaw, which is, it's going to be in my playlist. It is George Stella's recipe. And then I got a romaine head of lettuce. This is the almond milk that I got for this week. It's from Winco. I always buy unsweetened original, so it has no more than 30 calories per cup. And there's 1 gram of carb. And so I can use that and drink a cup of that with breakfast or meals, and no problem. My favorite kind of tea, this one here, I get it in decaf. They have it in non-decaf. And this has hints of like orange and cinnamon. It's so good. I did start buying this black tea because my honey and I have been making sun tea. And this has really helped me to let loose the sugar-free diet sodas and to step back from those, because I was really wanting to do that because of the artificial sweeteners, and it just kind of like keeps me in that zone of, you know what I mean? I don't know, they make me hungry, but this is actually working out quite well. This is the margarine that we use. It's made from yogurt, and there is no hydrogenated oil in it, so my whole family uses that. I got a bunch of frozen red raspberries. They're low in carb and full of fiber, so I'm going to put those in the freezer. And I did get 1 dozen eggs. We've got a lot of eggs right now, so I'm just going to add that to bump up our stock. But that is my haul for the week, buddy. I thought I would check in. It is a little bit late in the evening, so I'm kind of, a little late on I'm supposed to do a hangout today. It's Monday, and so I'm getting this ready for Tuesday. I still am going to put out a Monday video, but it's also going to go out on Tuesday, and I'm sorry for that, but I'm a little backed up. life just got a little busy. So I'm sorry for putting out 2 on one day. I try not to do that because I know a lot of people don't have the time to do both of them, but I do want to get those out there, so I'm going to try to do that. But one thing that I noticed with low carb is that my appetite is going down. And so I'm being able to wait longer between meals. I don't really need the snack. Even if I kind of want one, I'm really kind of just, I don't know, I'm just chilled out and I can wait until the next meal. And I'm doing that on purpose because I don't want to have a snack and then have a blood spike in my sugar. And so the less I can do that, the less that I do that, the better to help bring down my A1C. Now, I have been having Boom Chicka Pop or a rice cake, a chocolate rice cake, and I put, a few little sugar-free chocolate chips on it and some, oat whipped cream or maybe a little Cool Whip on it or something. And that gives me just enough carbs so that my progesterone will kind of be effective when I take it. But I really feel like I need to change that and either maybe have like a low carb fruit with it or something that's more low carb. So I think I'm going to be changing that because I feel like my day is going really well low carb and then I have this carb at the end. It just feels kind of odd and it does bring up my blood sugar a little bit. One thing that I noticed is one night I had Boom Chicka Pop. Maybe I had a little bit too much after dinner, and so I checked my blood sugar. Now, I did not walk. This was the only difference. I usually walk at least 10 to 20 minutes, sometimes 30 minutes after I eat. And that's to help bring down the blood sugar, put that sugar into my muscles instead of going to my pancreas and raising my A1C or raising my blood sugar. And so I didn't walk one night after I did that. I had a low carb dinner, then I had the Boom Chicka Pop, at least 2 cups of it. Did not walk, checked my blood sugar in 2 hours, and it went up to, I think it was 145. And I don't remember ever going up to 145. So that for me is very, very high. I don't want to do that again, especially if I'm trying to bring it down. So what's interesting is I did the very same thing the next night, but I walked. So after dinner and the 2 cups of Boom Chicka Pop, I walked for about 20 minutes. 2 hours later, I checked my blood sugar and it was like, I think it was the 107 or something. So it really did help. It does help. Now, everybody is not the same, obviously. So some things are going to raise my blood sugar more than somebody else's or not raise mine more than somebody else's. And you just have to kind of like do your own experiment and see how different foods affect your blood sugars. And, I don't know, it's cheaper to kind of get the little kit. And you can buy them at most, Walgreens or what do you call them? Pharmacies, things like that. And actually, I might check with my doctor and insurance because sometimes they cover the glucometers if you want to use that, or you could use like a continuous glucometer, and they go and they stick on the back of your arm, and that will monitor everything that you eat, and you can just see what spikes it and what doesn't. So everybody is different. I'm not going to tell everybody, hey, this is okay to do this, because it might not be okay for you. And you really just have to check and test and see if you are on a low carb journey or you're trying to battle the A1C and bring it down. You really have to check it out yourself. So anyway, there's my final thoughts. And it's going well so far. So I hope you had a wonderful, wonderful day today, and I will see you tomorrow. Bye.